I believe today was a very special day for you. Can you share your feelings about today with us? How does this experience? Do you have of feelings, well-being? Is it important for you to do this, what you did today?
Yeah, unfortunately, World War II has disrupted our family in so many ways. And one disruption was that I left my parents and sisters in Europe while I went to the United States to study psychology. So I didn't see my parents the last 10 years of their lives, and when they passed away, when they died in 1981, and my mother died, and in '68 my father died, and I didn't have the money to come to visit in Europe. I was still a student, and it was very difficult to see them the last parts of their life. But I was very, in a way, afterwards I was glad that they spent the last years of their life here in Belgium in this very kind and supportive atmosphere of the monks of Westmalle. And so coming here now for the first time since they passed away, it's been very both sweet and also of course sad in some ways, but it was an important visit to see how much my father was appreciated here for the work he did in the library, and I felt a sense of closure about this disrupted life we had after World War II.
We just visited the library, and I also read that your father ran a restaurant in Italy. I believe your father had an autotelic personality, and he had a lot of flow in his life. He was able to create flow for himself. Is it important to experience flow in work life? And is it possible for people to experience flow all together while working in teams or organizations or groups like here?
Well, yeah, going to my father, yes, he started as a cavalry officer in World War I, and he loved horses, he loved art, he loved antiquity, old things, and so he never was bored, and I don't think I was really bored except a few times when I was a teenager, but not much, because I realized early enough that life is short and there is no reason not to enjoy every moment of it if you can, even if things are not very conducive to enjoyment. And if you can do that, you are essentially in control of your own destiny, in control of your fate, because you can make your life different from what the conditions, the historical situation, whatever political situation try to make you. And of course, flow is a personal experience, but very often it's produced by interaction with other people in a group. I mean, the oldest art form is probably dancing around the fire. 50, 100,000 years ago, people were already dancing to the beat of the drums around fires, and this doing things together, especially in sport teams, it's a very wonderful experience for people to be able to feel that their activities are so well integrated with that of others, and it's like a harmonious work of art when you are in a good basketball team or hockey team or football team and so on. So, and that happens in work. I mean, especially when a new enterprise starts or when a new idea begins to be translated into a product, and you read the excitement and the enjoyment of these young engineers developing the first computers and especially the laptops and personal computers and so forth. But in any new enterprise, when people are allowed to do their best, and they can do their best, the interaction with among people who are working for the same goal but taking different paths because different strengths, different skills are combined to make something happen that otherwise couldn't happen. That is one of the most, or for instance, this summer I went back to Italy in the mountains where I was as a teenager, and I started singing with one of the choirs there, which is one of the famous choirs in Italy of folk songs, old folk songs. And I knew most of these, so they asked me to join them, and we went around singing these old songs. And, you know, there's nothing quite as kind of extraterrestrial than singing with other people and harmonizing the voices, the different tenors, baritones, bass, and all kind of weaving together and making something happen that is beautiful. And so that's flow that cannot be done alone. It needs other people.
I think that is beautiful. Right? Is it more to experience flow, or does it bring more to experience flow in a group?
It depends. I mean, all of my early studies were of flow, solitary flow, alone. Skier going down, the mountain climber going up, the chess player playing against an opponent, but and those are very strong flow experiences. Group flow has been studied less, and I'm not sure whether it's different or more profound, but, well, it is different, but I'm not sure it's qualitatively more profound, or it's just that it is, the fact is that people always enjoy being with other people more than being alone. This is a universal fact. So when you have flow, the flow may be the same flow, but the fact that there are other people around adds a quality of the fact of belonging with others in a joint effort is kind of have a quality of its own. I don't know if it makes the flow more strong or it just gives a context for flow, which is in some ways better than if you do it alone.
More support and more feedback, maybe.
Yeah, I think that.